Hi, everyone, and welcome to another video with my very special guest and contributor who has to share a lot of interesting details when it comes to the recent features that we are coming across. Please say hello to Son of Sparda, aka Jamil Baksh, or Jamil Baksh, aka Son of Sparda, whichever the way you want to go with. And besides him, you're seeing his amazing, fairly recent MDLX Transformers G1 action figures of Optimus Prime holding the Matrix, Hot Rod at the back, and Bumblebee also. And at the very rear, we find his seismic statue of Optimus Prime, which is based on the Bayverse movie. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, the Bumblebee movie.
The Bumblebee movie. Okay, now we are not going to be wasting a lot of time because we have a lot of interesting topics to cover. And my dear brother, Son of Sparda, is very much excited to share some details about the Sonyverse. So please don't go away. I know we have been quite disappointed with what Sony has been throwing out our way from Spiderverse, except for the across and into the Spider-Verse features. So just hang on. We're going to be starting out with Transformers 1. This is our, how should I say, no holds barred spoiler review for it, and it's going to be followed by Agatha Harkness, the Penguin, as well as the upcoming features of Spider-Verse. So, Son of Sparda, say hello to the community.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much for taking the trouble to showcase your awesome action figures and collectible statues. So we saw Transformers 1 together, me and Son of Sparda. And for those of you who missed out, you can check out our watch party, the first ever watch party that we had organized in Jeddah, which surprisingly enough was able to get more than 40 people signing up to it. So now what should we say about Transformers 1 and especially the recent hashtag that came out, save TF1?
Oh, you can tell us about the hashtag. I'm not too familiar with it really, but let us know what's going on with that.
Okay, it's basically closely associated with the news you had shared with me, and basically both of us were quite shocked and surprised that Transformers 1 has not been seeing the level of earnings that were expected, despite being rated as 91% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that it's an absolutely reliable indicator, but having seen Transformers 1 on the release date, we found it amazing. And both you and I agree, along with others, that this is the best animated movie since 1986 Transformers movie. So that's why the hashtag came in, save TF1 on X.
Some fans would even argue it is the best movie, surpassing the 86 movie. Like in terms of like story-wise, there's no argument about it. The 86 movie had a fantastic story, coming of age, if you will, about someone becoming the next leader of the Autobots. But this movie was about the leader of the Autobots coming into age, coming into his own, his relationship with Megatron, becoming them both taking their own individual paths in life, right? And everyone and a lot of people joining in the journey. It was just a well thought out movie. They really took their time to think about where they wanted to do with this story, and it paid off. We enjoyed it thoroughly. So I've been trying to figure out why this movie isn't doing as well as it should. And one of the reasons I've been seeing flowing around the internet, people saying, well, I wish it wasn't a cartoon because, man, there are some adult themes in this. Like, I won't go into, well, we did say spoilers. Someone gets shot. So people get their heads chopped off. Someone gets shot in the chest. There are times when it looks very graphic, and it made me question how this film got a PG rating. For those who are unfamiliar, PG means kids can go and see this movie without adult supervision. And
maybe it was happening to robots and not humans.
Maybe. So there was a lot of violence in this movie, but also a lot of heart, a lot of comedy. People are not, some people are acting a little silly, but understandably so. And some people are acting very serious for kids, for a movie that was, under our understanding, made for kids. And someone, I saw a comment on the internet, someone saying, why couldn't they have made it real versus animated? And I said to that person, you do know that every Transformers movie has animated characters. Everything is animated. Everything is animated, whether it's live. I mean, the only thing in the live action that isn't animated are the actors and the background. Everything else is animated.
Animated.
So then I said, do you mean cartoon style versus realistic style? So I understand that some people prefer the realistic style, but this is fine. You're telling a story on an alien world. So if you want to have it all be CGI, that's fine. I mean, I feel like it didn't take anything from the movie. We enjoyed it. It had a great introduction to the characters. We got to meet everyone. We got to see some cameos from people who didn't have a huge role, but we enjoyed seeing them. We got to see their journey in what they wanted to accomplish and how that journey took different paths. And we got to see how it all ended very differently from how we expected. So it was from my end, it was a very enjoyable movie. I feel like you enjoyed it. I feel like everyone in the theater enjoyed it. I wish it were doing better. I feel like they've been trying to do different things since Michael Bay left the franchise. And they've been doing great things. Like Bumblebee was a great movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And then they went back to the Bayverse formula with Rise of the Beasts. Which I feel like you take away Michael Bay, it was an enjoyable movie. I feel like they had a good story. They had some great, fantastic action scenes. They didn't exploit anyone like they used to do back in the old days. And then this movie was fantastic. I don't know. Are we losing Transformers fans? Are we just getting too old and saying, let's just stay home with the kids? What's going on? What do you think?
No, I don't think it's like people are saying that let's stay home and we're too old for Transformers. Look, you and I witnessed one thing in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah. The theater was packed by families, and every family member was a Transformer fan. We can argue which era. So you had the moms and the dads from the G1. Okay, some younger moms and dads were from the Beast Wars. But the younger kids, I mean, like I was looking at the audience, and both you and I, we got the chance to talk to some of them, and some of them were with us in our watch party, like Basil Ansari, for example. Okay, we saw actually fans from Gen X, fans from millennials coming all the way to Generation Alpha. You remember those kids we talked to who were like 7, 8 years old, and they were there for the Transformers thing. So I think we need to give a lot of credit to Keegan Michael Key for basically like being the force behind this project. He reintroduced G1 to the new fan base, because one of the things that was a frustration for a Transformers dad like me was the fact that when my kids come to me and say, we love Transformers Prime, we love Transformers whatever the heck it is. And I'm like, you haven't seen G1.
Right.
You haven't seen 1986 Transformers movie. That's what Transformers are all about. And I think I see the point of those individuals who said that Transformers 1 is a better movie than the 1986 one, because we see the leader coming of age. Okay. And, you know, it's a very relatable thing in life to lose a friend. We lose friends to disease, we lose friends to death, but we also lose friends when they change for the worse. And it's a very important real life lesson, if you will, that sometimes what happens is that we come across individuals who might be compatible with us at almost every level, but they are harboring some kind of a negativity within them, and they have been victims for something that instilled a negativity within them. And then when the moment comes, that's the defining moment where they choose the right path towards life or where they choose the wrong path towards it. So for me, it was meaningful. Yes, please, you were about to say something.
No, let's just go into just very quickly, like the most gut-wrenching moments of the movie. There's about a handful for me. The moment you realize that these guys are born with their transformation cogs, but it was taken out. Their God-given right to transform was taken from them by Sentinel Prime.
That was symbolic.
Yeah, that was just a punch to the gut to know that this was something they were meant to do, but it was a right for them, a birthright, and it was taken away. And the fact that Sentinel Prime took it away from them, it explains the hatred that D16 Megatron has for this person who's been leading them for such a long time, who's been leading them into an agreement with their enemies for such a long time. So it was at that time where we differentiated our two characters. Orion Pax decided we have to expose him. D16 said, "No, I need to kill this guy
because it was betrayal for him. It was betrayal.
It was betrayal. He said, I never want to take orders from anyone ever again. I'm going to be my own leader." You start to think about it. He says, Optimus says, we can't liberate Cybertron with a death. We can't do that. It has to be, we have to expose him, put him away. That's going to be the right thing to do. And you start to see one wants to lead, into darkness by starting the liberation with killing. One wants to lead it off by leading these people into the right path. To each their own, they had their own interpretations, but I'm glad that it ended the way. Also, the shot that Megatron or D16 took at Sentinel, and then it ended up hitting out Orion Pax. It was like he accidentally shot him, but then his last spark of hope was when he held on to Orion.
Yes,
and then he just let go. He's like, "I'm done saving you," and
I'm done saving you. Oof.
Yeah,
that was a dark scene, man.
Yeah, that was when I think the last bit of hope was left in D16, and I think that was when we finally saw Megatron for who he was, a tyrant who decided I'm just going to kill every one of this guy's friends, everyone who ever fallen. And
anyone who comes my way is my enemy, even if it's my longtime buddy.
Yeah. So he killed his friend. He started killing everyone else, everyone around him. The High Guard followed his command, Starscream and Soundwave and Shockwave. And that's when Orion was given the Matrix of Leadership and came back, and he just started messing around with everyone. He's dude, he had his Energon axe. That was pretty cool to see. He did some moves we never saw before. He had these flamethrowers. That was pretty cool. And he just chopped up his cannon. He chopped up Megatron's cannon. And,
what about the move from 1986 movie?
Oh, that was a little earlier on, but yeah, he grabbed a cannon, someone's rifle, and he jumped in the air, and that was a clear homage to the movie. That was amazing to see. We all cheered when that happened.
Amen.
So that was pretty cool to see. But I'm glad it ended the way it ended. And there was, again, we talked about an after credit scene. There was again, we said we're going full spoilers. This was a scene where they said we're going to possibly do a sequel if this movie does well, and it'll door open to saying he formed the Decepticons, and he's possibly going to come back with a vengeance. So hopefully we see a sequel. This was a fantastic movie. Again, we're sad it's not doing so well at the global box office. Hopefully it has legs to possibly have more fans go back and see it. Hopefully it does well when it comes out on digital. And this is probably a good segue. Speaking of digital, Deadpool & Wolverine comes out today on digital. For those who haven't seen it, for those who want to see it at home.
October 1st.
Yeah, comes out right today. Thought of that looking at the poster behind you. So for those who haven't,
you have to share one thing which you shared with me today about Transformers 1, because this is something every fan has to know about, especially if they are gamers.
Yeah. Was it the figure I got here?
No. Come on, man, you forgot. You shared a reel.
What's that?
You shared a reel with me about War for Cybertron game, which was released in PlayStation 3, and how accurate it has been taken into consideration in Transformers 1. So the ultimate mystery that we were having when we watched the movie, that which Transformers is this connected with? Is it with the War for Cybertron trilogy, which was released on Netflix? Is it the same universe as the video game? And I think what you shared with me today proved it.
I think, they took elements from that game, right? The bridge that was forming as Optimus was driving over it.
Exactly.
I think that is directly from the game. Dude, I feel like it's a crime that they haven't remastered that game. It's such a fantastic game. Came out 2 generations ago on PlayStation 3, like you said.
Yes.
I don't care what mountains they have to move. They need to remaster this today. Because we're getting new consoles. We're getting the PlayStation 5 Pro. I feel like it might look great on that whenever it comes out. I think it comes out next month. But yeah, please, someone get on that. Lawyers, work on the rights, whatever needs to be done, just get it done and get this game out again.
And make sure to release it on PlayStation 4 as well, because I still have PlayStation 4. Okay, now we need to move to the next big production that has basically like wowed the fans, which is straight out of Gotham, The Penguin.
Yeah. So, dude, I was not expect. I'm usually not into mafia shows. I never watched The Sopranos. But when you hear a show is this good, you have to give it a chance. So I watched it, and oh my goodness, from beginning to end, like it starts off just a little slow.
Right.
But from the moment, should we get into spoilers? From the moment something happens,
because
in the first 5 minutes.
Just lay it out, man. Just lay it out.
First episode's been out for a week now. Second episode came out yesterday, so we won't talk about second episode. But in case someone hasn't seen it yet,
yeah.
But the first episode, in the first 5 minutes, something happens. Like he's talking to the son of Carmine Falcone.
Yeah.
Who is supposedly going to take over, the family business. And they're both talking about their dreams. And Falcone stands up, Alberto Falcone, he starts to make fun of Penguin. And he starts to laugh at him, saying, "Oh, you want to be like this guy? People look up to you and cheer for you. And you think this guy's going to have a huge role in the series?" Straight up, Penguin kills him, 5-6 shots to the chest, and he laughs. And then it starts to sink in. Oh shoot! I just killed this guy who's supposed to take over the business. So,
and how he starts to manipulate the event.
Yeah, I think the next couple of scenes are him trying to cover it up. And it gets a little messy at times. And you start to really see how corrupt Gotham is. And to answer people's question, people are wondering, are we going to see Robert Pattinson as Batman? I think it's been confirmed we aren't going to see him. He hasn't shown up in the first 2 episodes. I don't think he's going to. His presence is there. Like, they mentioned him a couple of times. But I think it's a safe bet. We aren't going to see Bruce Wayne or Batman unless they surprise us. But I think it's been confirmed we aren't going to see him. But this is more about.
I can expect surprises from Matt Reeves.
Oh yeah. Like, oh my gosh, I forget the name of the actress. Christina
Ricci. Christina Ricci.
Ricci. Okay. She says she's dreamt her entire life of playing a Batman villain. So she's playing Hangman. And we sort of go into the mythology of her time that she spent in Gotham. I'm sorry, in Arkham, because she was locked up there for a while.
Yeah.
And we find out that Penguin was sort of responsible for that.
Yeah.
So she has aside from her suspecting that he killed her brother, she has a resentment for other reasons. So she has a long list of reasons to resent this guy. And yet, it's a very interesting, like, they sit together in a room and you feel the tension that someone's going to kill the other person by the end of the series. So someone's going to die.
I see the Michael Corleone in her.
Yeah. Like, it is tense whenever this woman's on screen. Like, she doesn't have any sentiment towards friends or like. There's a scene where you almost think this person's her friend in episode 2, and then she turns a 180. She's like, "Oh no, that's done. We're not friends anymore." So it's a very interesting series. I hope people tune in and watch it because if people do, hopefully we'll get more of this. And again, this is how you speak to Hollywood. We speak with our wallets. So if you guys go and watch the Transformers movie, hopefully we'll get a sequel. If you watch Gotham, if you watch Penguin, we'll get another one, season 2. And Yandy, what did you think?
No, I was blown away by the first episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm expecting it to be quite impressive once the season ends, because here I don't see that pattern which has plagued Disney productions, whereby that everything goes really well till episode 3, and after that things go downhill, which brings me to Agatha Harkness. So what's your take on Agatha?
So I watched Wanda, and it's up there. I won't say it's my top Marvel show, but it's up there. I will say, since Bob Iger and all our familiar people came back in power, they've made huge changes to their shows, and they've established that they want to have showrunners run these shows. It's something they never had before, so hopefully that shows in their production from now on. And I think it's showing in Agatha, where we can see that, like I said, all the shows before, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel, they didn't really, aside from, I feel like maybe just The Mandalorian, that had a clear vision of where they started, where they want to go with it.
Right.
And right now they're shooting a movie out here. But Agatha, it's clear right now, it has a strong first couple of episodes. Like it's starting off really fun. Like I said, I didn't think much of her in the series in Wanda, but she made an impact. Catherine Hahn, her character in Wanda. So the first episode starts off a little bit of a mystery, but it starts to unravel, and we have a clear vision of where they're going. She wants to get her powers back. She managed to break free of Wanda's spell, and now she's on a quest with a group of people to get her powers back. And every episode has been very fun to watch.
I only have 3 things that I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
Mephisto make an appearance. Will this show?
They mentioned.
Will this show us?
For the first.
Sorry, continue. Sorry.
So I was just gonna say, for the first time ever in Marvel history, in live action, they have finally mentioned Mephisto. Like, we have speculated for a very long time. He's gonna be in this series. He's gonna be in that movie.
Yeah.
He's never mentioned. They mentioned him for the first time, so it's a possibility. We might see him more. We might hear from him more. We'll see how it happens.
So first up is Mephisto. Will we see Mephisto? And I hope they don't gender swap. Second, will we see Doomstarred, Dr. Doom's castle? Because Dr. Doom, by the end of the day, has a deep relationship when it comes to magic and science. And the last bit, Agatha Harkness came into the Marvel Universe thanks to the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
So is there going to be some kind
I believe her role was, I believe that in some versions of the comic, she was babysitting Reed and Susan's baby.
Franklin Richards.
Yes. And it turns out later on that she had powers, and she was training their baby to use their the baby's power. So so that was again, you know, I didn't even think about that, but you know, I would love to see a connection there, because they are shooting Fantastic Four right now. They only announced him right before, just because I feel like, this is my own personal theory, we might see Doom somewhere, either here in the series. We might see him pop up in Fantastic Four. I feel like that's probably a more likely thing for Robert Downey Jr. to show up in a movie. But even if he shows up in a mask, even if you see Dr. Doom just show up in a portal in a mask for a split second, I feel like that's enough to get us excited.
The last segment of this recap of ours, which is the upcoming features from Sony's Spiderverse. And dang, you just changed the entire setup. Oh my!
He just popped up here. What the heck?
Before I let you answer the question, can you tell our audiences which is it a statue? Is it an action figure? From which company?
Oh, sure. So this is it says here right on the base, Michael Morbius from Hot Toys. This is the 1/6 scale figurine. He's got his suit on. He's got some effects that aren't holding on incredibly well, but these are the effect parts that make him look like he's moving really fast. And he's got his bat buddies here. You can see one on his left, one on his right. There we go, some bats. Oh, you can't see the ones on his right. So that's something cool that they have going on. But yeah, this is the 1/6 scale figure. His coat has bendable wire, so you see the one in the back is holding pretty well. And yeah, it's a really cool figure to have around. I saw this movie with my one of my closest friends who I told you about, who passed away this year, and it has some very fond memories just for that reason. That it was just one of the last movies I saw with him before he passed. But so yeah, we both came out of the movie saying it wasn't the best that was produced, but we enjoyed it nonetheless. And the after credit scene made no sense.
Yeah,
Vulture just showed up and saying, "Let's team up." Okay. So hopefully, getting back to what we were saying, it's just rumored. And again, we say with rumors, take this with a grain of salt, because nothing has been confirmed.
Right.
But the rumor is that Sony is looking to end their Sonyverse and merge it with the 616 Marvel Universe. And if that happens, hopefully, finally, we can once again see Tom Holland, Spider-Man, or if we can see once again Spider-Man team up with Venom against. The rumor is that Null is going to be the main villain in Spider-Man 4. We don't know, but hopefully, because I feel like, dude, it's been a long time since Spider-Man's donned the black suit, right?
Way long, but the thing is, I mean, like, with Sony keep on disappointing every Spider-Man fan, they keep forgetting that the reason we love the Spider-Verse is because of Spider-Man. We don't love the Spider-Verse because of Miles Morales, because of Spider-Woman, because of Venom. Yes, we are fans of these characters as well. But the reason we are their fans is because of Spider-Man. A lot of people might be saying, well, there's no relationship between Spider-Woman and Spider-Man. Okay. But the thing is that Spider-Woman, whether it's in the comics or whether it's in the animated world or whether we're talking about the live action world, she is somehow made part of this. That's why they had Sydney Sweeney playing as Spider-Woman. That's why we saw Spider-Woman in Across the Spider-Verse. So if they do us a favor that they decide, okay, for the love of all the Spider-Man fans out there, we are going to make the right decision for once since Sam Raimi's era ended.
Here's the thing, buddy. Spider-Man is Sony's. He's their bread and butter.
Exactly.
So according to their contract, if they don't make Spider-Man movies for a long time, they're going to lose the license, and that's the last thing they want. So they've been doing, other Spider-Man character-related movies, and what they did was they did a smart move. It didn't cost them 1 cent. They gave the rights to Marvel, who are the rightful owners, but years ago they sold the rights to Sony.
Yeah.
For peanuts. Exactly. And they managed to do something miraculous, which was increase the popularity of this character. They did their last couple of movies. Spider-Man 3 wasn't a banger.
Yeah.
They had too many villains. They had too many things going on at the same time.
Right.
Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man series, my personal favorite Spider-Man actor. The first one was great. Second one took a complete 180. Did not do so well at the box office.
Right.
So I'm hoping, they do the right thing. And, even if they do end their verse for a while, not forever, but for a while, say we're going to give the rights to Marvel, do whatever they want for a couple of years. Come back and they have a library of characters. If they do a movie about Spider-Man 2099, a live action, sure, we'll take it. If they do a movie about Spider-Man Woman, we'll take it. Let us play with, let Marvel do their thing because they're so good at it. And that'll increase the popularity for him, for the mainline Spider, for Peter Parker, and it'll make everyone else look good. So hopefully they do the right thing by them, for themselves, for us fans, and we can enjoy these movies as they come.
And this is the thing. I mean, this is the only part of capitalism that I really dislike, and that is the greed and the selfishness part. Sometimes you have to give in order to receive more. You have to sacrifice a little bit in order to receive more. And, I don't know what's the contractual stipulation. When does, for example, the last Spider-Man movie they made was in 2021, which was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yep.
So, I mean, when do the rights go back to Marvel if they don't make a Spider-Man movie? Is it 10 years, in 10 years time, 5 years time? What's the case?
I'm not sure the period, but I think if they don't make any Spider-Man related movie for a bunch of years, so if they don't make a Kraven or a Rhino or Morbius or anything for several years, they're going to lose the rights. And I think that's going to be very difficult for them to have this huge library and decide we're just going to stop making movies because we don't like making money. Even if it's a little bit of money, it's a door for them to make some financial profit.
Yeah, but you mentioned the Achilles heel. And the Achilles heel right now, for me at least, is when I saw the trailer for Kraven, seeing Rhino and everything, and I was asking, why? Why?
Well, we did get that one scene that got me excited, was Kraven pulling that guy's eyeball out. And I thought, if we can get more of this, if you didn't just show us the best scene in the movie, then I'm on board for this. Then you show me that this guy is not afraid to show us some R-rated hardcore action. And plus they got Russell Crowe in there. So they've got a good cast. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good movie, but it's what we got. We got Kraven, we got Venom: The Last Stand, and again, the only thing exciting about Venom is that it's going to be the last one.
No, and everybody is going crazy over the debut of Null, the King in Black.
Yeah. Yes,
But
yes.
my problem with that is that just like they watered down Carnage in Let There Be
Yeah,
Carnage movie, which could have been an
yeah,
amazing movie had they had Carnage, Venom, and Spider-Man. Instead, they made it the adult version of a kindergarten feud that like Cletus Cassidy always wanted to be friends with Venom, but Venom had other cool friends, and because he didn't become his friend, that's why he became bad and started to kill people. I wasn't even
yeah,
expecting this kind of a pathetic plot coming in from the likes of Andy Serkis and Tom
yeah,
Holland. I mean, these guys are
yeah.
well-read individuals. They understand characters much better. How could they come up with this? But then again, in this universe, in the last few decades, we also saw an atrocity called the Green Lantern. So if that can happen, this can happen too.
Yeah.
And I'm frankly,
And
I sorry, just add one point. Frankly, I'm
go ahead.
seeing Venom 3, The Last Dance, is going to be basically too much hype and next to nothing substance.
But we got to see Venom dance with Mrs. Chang.
Ah, come on.
Um, man, I just hope they bring some of the magic back from the first one because the first one was pretty good. It had a little bit of a horror element to it.
First
It
one was
was,
amazing. First one was amazing.
and dude, even if the thing with Carnage wasn't good, and this isn't a good thing, but they wasted half the movie with Venom going on his own and and Eddie Brock going on his own. You wasted half the movie with that of Venom going to raves and being joining with other people who weren't compatible with him. It was a huge waste of the movie. So we didn't really see any action until I think the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, and everything else was just a waste. So hopefully they've learned from their mistakes. Hopefully we get to see something more than half cooked, and we get a good movie out of it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Not really a whole lot of excitement towards the last couple of movies we got left, but it's something. I'm still gonna hold up some hope for this Venom movie. I got my shirt coming in the mail of the white symbol like in the game.
Yeah.
And yep, so it's actually Venom's white symbol, which he doesn't have in the movie, but still I'd like to wear it. So we'll see how it goes, and we're gonna you want to go see it?
You had to put me on
You're not
under the spotlight.
you're not even a little excited to go see it.
Let me tell you a story.
Hmm.
Since I started this content creation journey, I was invited by Knife Toys at the premiere of Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like it's a bittersweet memory because on one side you get invited. Some people,
Yep.
some companies recognize your content creator talent and they invite you to the premiere of a movie that has a lot of expectations. And next thing you know, the moment I entered the theater and the movie started, and from the very first 10 minutes, I said, I'm going to trash this movie right now because it's just unbearable for me because they lost the plot, they lost
Yep.
the opportunity to make
Yep.
Carnage more horrific than the Joker.
Yep. Yep.
Because he's as sadistic as the Joker, but he loves blood. Bloodshed is like in his veins, literally, because of the symbiote and everything. So
Yep.
now, thank you for putting me under the spotlight once again. Am I going to watch this? It seems like 98% of the probability is I might take a pass. But
I was not expecting.
well, look, son of Sparda, here's the thing. I think you are the only person in God's great universe who is still hopeful about something good coming out of Sony Pictures. And I represent the majority who have given up because after seeing, okay, I was like open-minded after Let There Be Carnage because I saw Morbius movie and I enjoyed Morbius movie. It wasn't the A-list material, but it was still something. And I agree with you
Yep.
on the post-credit scene, which didn't make sense at all. And the next thing you know, we get Madam Web.
Oh, we won't even talk about Madam Web.
Okay.
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah, and then we get a very pathetic trailer of Kraven the Hunter.
you want to hear? So the rumor is, and I think I've seen this in an interview once or twice. Some of the cast members of Madam Web said that, and this is post after production, after the movie was released, and they didn't want to badmouth the movie, but I've heard somewhere that they said that they were tricked into believing that this was a Marvel Universe movie.
Yes,
that they would be joining the Marvel Universe.
You are right. You are right. I actually read that. And a lot of the actresses, especially Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney, they both said that we don't want to be associated with this movie.
Yeah.
That's how, man. Anyways, because
and it happens. It happens sometimes in Hollywood. You hear about deceit and lies, and to add a little bit of fire to the flame, I saw an interview for Vince Vaughn. I believe it was he was going to direct X-Men 3. And from what did you hear about this?
No, not at all.
So he had a script, and he read through a script, and there was an amazing scene for Storm, Halle Berry's character, Academy Award-winning actress.
Exactly.
And he asked them, well, what's all this? I haven't seen this. And they said, the executive said to him, don't worry about it. That's the Halle Berry copy. Once she signed, because she hasn't signed yet, once she signs, we're going to throw that away. There were some amazing scenes for Storm, and they just want her to sign up for the movie.
With that, we bring our recap to the conclusion. So first bit is that we would like to request each and every one of you to please go and watch Transformers 1 movie. It's a family entertainment package, a total package. The adults, the kids, the teenagers, each and everyone are going to enjoy watching this movie. Second bit, for the adult audiences, the Penguin is amazing. Right now, Agatha, it was Agatha all along, is going pretty well. But again, be warned that Disney tends to lose its pace after episode 3. So it's too soon to say if it's going to be a critically acclaimed series or not. And with what it's been announced for Sonyverse, for Spider-Verse by Sony, you heard it. The most optimistic note coming in from Son of Sparda, and the most pessimistic note coming in from me. So just whatever you do, you're doing it on your own responsibility. And the final word, I'm going to leave it with Son of Sparda.
Oh, one last bit of news, and we talked about this a couple of days ago, and I know we didn't talk about bringing it up today, but so switching back gears to DC, we don't have a whole lot of DC news other than the Penguin, but this one bit of news is that they finally cast Hal Jordan for an upcoming Green Lantern series that was greenlit. They're going to start shooting it soon. They cast Kyle Chandler, who, it seems like he's going to be an older version of Hal, and he's probably going to be training a younger Green Lantern, probably either John Stewart or Kyle Rayner. We already know that Nathan Fillion is going to be Guy Gardner, in the new Superman movie. So excited for that, because like you said, the last Green Lantern movie was it's hard to watch. It hasn't aged well at all. So
I'm glad
hopefully we get a good.
I'm glad you mentioned this.
So hopefully we get a good series.
No, please continue, because you have the last word.
No, that's it. I'm hopeful for this. Oh my gosh, dude. Other than the stuff we've mentioned, next year is going to be huge for, DC, Marvel book fans in general. We got Fantastic Four and Superman coming out in the same month. And I believe the new Jurassic World is also going to come out in July, in the same month as those other movies.
I'm not a Jurassic fan, but I agree with
you. Joe's going to be in this one.
I'm more happy about the superhero features that are coming in. With the first one being Daredevil Born Again series in the first quarter of 2025. So
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and for those of you who are in Jeddah, we're going to be doing live broadcasts every month. And please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, because a lot of amazing knowledge is being shared by Son of Sparda, and that basically brings us to a lot of exciting details, and especially it keeps us ready for all the events and activities that might be taking place in our city, in our country. So thank you all for watching in. Thank you, Son of Sparda, for always being the valuable contributor to Son of Jeddah channel, and we'll be coming back soon. And what a t-shirt. Bye, God.
Forgot to show that.
So thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to do it now and stay tuned for more live broadcasts that are going to be broadcasted from Jeddah, and it might be a community activity happening. So you just never know. And for those of you who are in Saudi Arabia, there's a Comic-Con happening in the end of November. It's Comic-Con Arabia. Both of us are not very hopeful about it's going to be a really a Comic-Con. It's going to be more of an anime expo, but let's give it a chance and see what happens. So thank you so much.
Man,
yeah.
Oh no, they've been hinting towards some really big names. No, nothing confirmed yet at this convention, but they've been hinting someone related to Spider-Man, someone related to Superman. We'll see. There are many actors in pipeline who've done those, but hopefully we get some big names announced soon.
I hope our dreams come true. I hope we finally get to see a proper Comic-Con happening, because it's been a long time. The last best Comic-Con that happened was Stan Lee Super-Con in 2022. So stay tuned for more. Lots of other interesting recap videos are going to be coming in, along with the live broadcast and much more. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Son of Sparda.